Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. We're actually back on the free-to-play challenge account. You can't quite see that here, but you can see that we're just finishing up a little bit of extra energy over here on Minotaur, but I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about the good news of the channel. So you guys already saw some of that in my last video. You saw improved editing techniques. Shout out to my editor, great job. I'm super happy about that. And I just wanted to kind of fill you guys in a little bit on what that's about before we get too deep into the video. So I have partnered up with GameLeap. I do have my own link code that you guys can now use. It's in the description of the video. And with that, the way it works is basically when you use my link code to start a new account, you get Bambus to start right after the tutorial, and then you get Tagoar a little bit later on. It's actually a really strong promo code, but I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of it and understanding why my thumbnails are going to change and why my videos are going to be a little more well edited. We'll go ahead and let this one wrap up here. Let me just go ahead and stop that one. Look at that perfect timing. And we're going to roll right into today's video talking about the free-to-play challenge account. We do have our next 60. We don't have them built, but we do know who it's going to be, and it's probably going to have to be Lady Annabelle. The reason that I'm grinding masteries right now is because I need her to be stronger. So Lady Annabelle is going to be my answer to Bommal, which is a bit of a roadblock, no pun intended, for my progression right now. So far, the strategy is to use Lady Annabelle, who has a really strong passive against Bommal. So Bommal summons these two big bombs, and when he summons them down, they explode. And when they explode, they kill your whole team, basically, right? Well, Lady Annabelle, every time an enemy dies and those bombs are counted as an enemy, she heals herself. You can see her HP is high. It's not quite as high as I would like it to be. I'd like her to be around Tagoar level. Well, to be honest, I'd like her to be up around 100k. But the concept here is pretty simple, and I have to be careful. I actually have to turn off her other abilities, and I forgot to do that. So this team probably won't work anyways. But the concept is pretty simple, that Lady Annabelle needs to be able to keep herself topped off, and you'll see how she healed to full there when the bombs exploded. And the idea is pretty simple. We just try to keep her alive, and the bombs won't kill her, but she can still die to the normal damage that comes out from Bommal. We kind of need to keep her above 50%, or else these bombs will one-shot her if she gets too low and she doesn't get that heal effect off of them. This actually looks like it's going pretty well. Now, I'm sure you can identify a major problem. This would take forever, especially without War Master. Now, I've done quite a bit of testing so far. I've actually just changed her gear for this particular run, and we're having a bit of a better result too. So I'm actually going to let this run off camera later, and I'll give you guys an update in tomorrow's video if we were able to pull it off. But it's actually looking pretty good. There we go. As you can see, I just don't quite have the gear for it. Why am I struggling? Well, for one, I don't have regen gear. The way regen gear works is it heals by 15% of their HP when they take a turn. The Guardian set heals only by 10%. And then I get an additional 3% out of the Immortal set. I would get much more healing each turn she takes from the regen set, but I don't have any good pieces. Actually, I don't have any pieces at all of regen gear. I did manage to get a bolster set to work for this. Oh, it worked about the same as what we just saw. Now, the reason I made the switch to the Guardian is you can see that this piece here and this piece here were the ones that I was using, this one too. There's not a single HP percent substat in any of those pieces, but here we've got two. So my gear was just rolled better in the Guardian set, and Guardian does the same thing, heals by 10% every turn. Bolster heals by 10% every turn. What my plan is now to try and get some extra stats out of them as well. I mean, get masteries. I've got the max HP, I'm increasing the value of the heals, might even increase the value of healing and shielding. We're also going to try and get down to Spirit Haste. If she can get a 2-to-1 ratio to Bommal, which, or probably not, but if, that will speed her up quite a bit and allow her to get that one extra turn to keep her HP pool up. But regardless, this gets 10 times easier once we get her to 6 stars. When we go into Bannerlords and we take a look at her, this is showing her what she is at level 60. Her base HP is 20k. At level 50, her base HP is only 14,580. If we're going to be rocking HP percent gloves, for instance, which we are, then we would want to have more base HP to amplify that even further. That's why, despite the fact that she's in really, really good gear, when you compare her HP to Ugo, who's at 62,000, and Tagoar, who's at 60,000, they're able to wear a banner. She can't because she's not 6 stars. Actually, Ugo's not wearing a banner. I forgot. She's not ascended. And 2, their base stats are just higher at that point. 18k here, 19k here. And so we just said her base stats would be 20k when she is 6 stars. And ascended, of course. I think ascension matters in that regard, and the reason I say that is because we said, what, Ugo was like 19k just now, and Ugo 19,650. This is good information to have. Yeah, so she's 19,155, so she's actually not fully ascended, and therefore not gaining the full value of her base HP. But still, we kind of know what we're looking at, right? What we're hoping to get. Now, you will notice that I also upgraded Tagoar. Those gloves that are on Lady Annabelle, they're only 4-star gloves. I'm sure you're like, dude, you got to get better gloves. We're working on that. We get those gloves from Clan Boss. We're going to get some opportunity to get some better gloves. I really need that set to be completed, and because of how well all the other gear rolled, it didn't make sense to put this gear because I didn't have better pieces, right? If I put these gloves here, and I tried to replace one of these with a piece of Immortal gear, there might be a piece that makes some sense. Yeah, maybe the helmet here makes a lot of sense. In fact, it does, because this helmet doesn't have any HP percent on it. Let's do that change real quick. I think I have a thing active. I do not. I used it, but it's no longer active. If we do that, and then we put those gloves, these Guardian gloves, back on, that completes the Guardian set. We don't lose any speed. We gain a lot of stats, actually. So now we're up to 54k. That might prove to be an improvement. And obviously there are the chance to re-roll these and even potentially get more stats down here, possibly, but I don't have the resources at the moment from Shogun. Now, the best way to speed up Lady Annabelle as your solo farmer for Bommal is to get War Master, because then she starts doing damage based on the enemy max HP. Let's go ahead and read this just so you guys know, for those of you that don't. With War Master, you'll have a 60% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 10% of the target champion's max HP or 4% of the target's max HP when attacking a boss. So in this case, it would be 4%. And the bonus damage can only occur once per skill and does not count as an extra hit. Obviously, I want stuff from over here, but I'm also going to go in the offense tree down to War Master, right down here. And that way we can get more damage in. So she's going to be my next 6-star just to make getting through Bommal easier. To be completely honest, I should be able to get through Bommal at that difficulty, and I'm just not there yet. Something that I'm toying with, and I've used up all my silver sadly, so I may not be able to do it, but one thing I'm toying with is the idea of getting Guardian onto either Ugo or Tagoar. Now, I would want that to actually be a separate set from the one that is currently on Lady Annabelle. But we should take a look at the Guardian gear that I have. It's actually really good. I've had much better rolls of my Guardian gear. You can see a lot of 5-star gear. But check this out. Look at these speed boots. And I've already got speed boots on Lady Annabelle. By the way, I just realized, why don't we go ahead and enchant this stuff too? Because that's going to make a big difference. It'd be, well, I would rather get higher than a 1. There we go. Same for flat HP. Let's try and get something good. All right, not too bad. Now, she has the best ones because neither one of these rolled HP percent, and it's all about HP percent for her. But some of these with defense percent, right? That could go really far on some of our other champions. Even our champions like Taragi, it would work on. Same thing with Tagoar and Ugo. If I could get 3 Guardian sets out of that and get them across Tagoar, Taragi, and Ugo, or shoot, you know, maybe even Calvalax, which sounds kind of crazy, but we would really spread the damage of the clan boss around and could potentially see some opportunities at Ultra Nightmare, which would be really cool. So I'm very happy at the rolls that we've got on that gear, to try and see if we can. Probably not going to put it on Calvalax, just to be clear, but you know, I'm open to whatever possibilities will bring me better results. Again, defense percent here with speed. You've got that. We've got a couple of HP percent chests in this, as well as defense percent. There's another HP percent and another defense percent. So we should be able to create some pretty decent sets and potentially get ourselves a lot further in our clan boss damage. Unfortunately, what's the big holdup, as it always is silver. A lot of my energy has been spent in Minotaur lately. Been trying to get masteries up for Coldheart. You can see she's at 716, and Armiger, who's completed. We don't need any more Armiger. I thought Armiger was going to be my next 6-star, but Bommal's a little bit harder already. I expected to get through this stage of Bommal and then need Lady Annabelle for the harder stages, but I don't know if it's my gear. Honestly, maybe getting those Guardian sets in place, I can just beat it with my normal team. I'm not sure how the bombs get dissipated with that. So we'll take a look and we'll try that stuff out. But right now, I need silver. I did do quite a bit of crafting in the forge. But I mean, I had to, right? We were crafting the Guardian gear, and we crafted some of our bolster gear as well. So I just need to work a little bit harder and get some silver so that we can improve those guys in those Guardian sets, even if just for the passive healing that they would get, right? 10% of healing every time Ugo takes a turn healing herself. Same thing with Tagoar healing himself. That can add up a lot over time. And then, of course, the damage mitigation part of it, which I guess we didn't expressly look at it. So why don't we put that up on the screen here? Wear absorbs 10% of all damage dealt to ally champions, and then they heal by 10% every turn. So if you mix this up with a couple of champions, especially tanky champions like a Tagoar and a Ugo and a Taragi, that damage is getting spread across a bunch of them, and you can really take a bunch of extra turns against clan boss, and that adds up for your damage totals, and now all of a sudden you're within a 3 key of Ultra Nightmare and maybe even a 1 key of Nightmare, depending on how it goes. We're gonna try that. I've never really used Guardian before. I've found other ways to go ahead and beat the clan boss, whether it's a Wixwell team or an unkillable team. I used to use a Demitha team on my main account way back when. We're probably going to pull some shards tomorrow. Now, I will let you guys know I'm not going to be streaming any bit this week. You may notice that my voice is really struggling. My birthday stream went great. Thanks everybody for showing up, but I talked for like 10 hours straight. And with everything going on with my illness, it's not giving me time for my voice to recover. So I can record a little 30-minute video, but I can't be talking nonstop. Bear with me while we get through all that. And I mentioned in that video, in my live stream too, that I'm probably gonna have to go back to work. So live streams are probably going away for the short term anyways. I'm at least taking the week off to try and make sure that I don't do any extra damage to my vocal cords or my ability to create content for you guys. Okay, that is going to be a wrap. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will give you guys an update, but I am pulling shards in tomorrow's video, so check out that video. We're going to be pulling shards because we do have some really juicy 15x stuff coming up, some progressive stuff, and we'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. So check that out, and thanks for watching. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support my channel right now. And that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.